So basically, our main character adopts this poor, abandoned young girl simply because he was too lonely. He selfishly keeps Bai Ningbing close, paying off her debts and supporting her education despite their 7-year age gap. But she remains completely cold and distant to him, until a boy her own age suddenly shows up. Fang Yuan watches her lose sleep over this new guy, looking completely relieved the day they finally break up. She walks away without even looking back, but that exact same day, he gets hit by a car. Every major news outlet reports that he died, but nobody expected him to make a massive comeback years later. She breaks down, grabbing him and crying that she always knew her brother was still alive. He just gives her a cold smile and says, "Yeah, I'm alive, but this brother doesn't want you anymore." It's already been 4 years since his reported death, which is honestly kind of wild. Returning to the country now, Fang Yuan is determined to reclaim everything that actually belongs to him. His absolute favorite gold watch is up for auction, so he quietly slips back into the country. At the auction, he keeps a low profile, sitting in the very last row in the dark corner. His assistant, Liu Peng, whispers that his adoptive father and his younger brother have both arrived. They are sitting right there in the front row. It looks like they want that gold watch, but Fang Yuan just smirks, saying that's perfect. That watch was a personal gift from his grandmother when he turned 20. It had absolutely nothing to do with the Fang family, though Fang Mingyuan threw a massive fit over it. He screamed and demanded to take it, and Fang Yuan still remembers his loud, annoying voice. He kept yelling that he was the real biological son, so why should Fang Yuan get anything? "He isn't even part of our family!" he screamed right in the middle of the birthday banquet. Everyone heard it, and Fang Yuan's adoptive status was instantly exposed to the entire crowd. When his parents first married, the doctors told them they could never have children. So they adopted him, but 7 years later, his mother miraculously got pregnant. That's how Fang Mingyuan was born, and on the surface, both boys were treated as equal sons. They showed them both love in public, but behind closed doors, things were completely different. Grandmother was the only one who truly loved him, and after she passed away, his life fell apart. He had no place left in that home, especially when Fang Mingyuan claimed to have depression 4 years ago. The brother pointed right at his face, yelling that seeing Fang Yuan triggered his illness. His parents looked completely guilt-ridden, telling Fang Yuan they had absolutely no choice. They literally asked him to leave the house, kicking him out just to please their biological son. To put Fang Mingyuan's mind at ease, his parents even paid off the media. They officially announced that Fang Yuan died in a car crash, keeping up this lie for 4 whole years. How strange, Liu Peng mutters under his breath beside him. The Fang family is on the verge of bankruptcy, so how do they have money for an auction? An elite lady sitting in front overheard them and strikes up a chat, saying they must be outsiders. How could they not know about Fang Mingyuan's insanely rich girlfriend? Confused, they look over as a gorgeous woman walks right toward their direction. The lady says with pure envy that she's Bai Ningbing, the sole heiress of the massive Bai Group. Before Fang Yuan can even process this, he looks in the direction she's pointing. Just as Bai Ningbing glances over, he immediately turns his head away. Luckily, the back row has no lights, leaving him completely hidden in the shadows. It's impossible for her to see him, not that he's scared, but he only returned for his money. He promised his parents he wouldn't show up before Fang Mingyuan, paying back his debt of upbringing. Not wanting to test his luck, the talkative lady happily shares more gossip. Bai Ningbing is actually the chairman's illegitimate daughter, and the family didn't even acknowledge her until she turned 20. Later, Chairman Bai's eldest daughter died of leukemia, leaving him with no other kids. So he rushed to bring Bai Ningbing back home. Don't let her sharp look fool you, though. She is only 24 years old. Honestly, she is still so young. Our MC watches Bai Ningbing through the shadows. She has changed so much. When they first met, she was just wearing a yellowed, patched-up t-shirt. Her pants were shredded to her knees, but now she is absolutely stunning. Gorgeous hair falling down her slender waist, wearing a pair of frameless glasses. She really has that cold, elegant goddess vibe. Her assistant is whispering something to her. No clue what the assistant said, but she cracks a soft smile. Then she casually pushes up her glasses. Man, this exact scene. It is hard not to remind our MC of their old days in Harbin. He once asked Bai Ningbing to wear glasses because he loved that classy, studious look. And when she wore them, she would push them up just like this. Honestly, who would have thought? The poor, helpless girl once forced to be with him is now running this entire venue. Liu Pang asks some rich guy about the connection between President Bai and Fang Mingyuan. What else could it be? The guy answers with a pretty knowing smirk. Not official yet, but the rumors are everywhere.
Saying they are getting hitched, but RMC stays completely unfazed.
Acting like he did not hear. The auction begins. The gold watch is brought out, but our MC cannot show his face to bid. So Liu Pang bids for him, just as they are about to win. Someone in the front row suddenly bids 10 million. It is Bai Ningbing, sounding sweet and gentle. She easily steals his bid. Talk about flexing her massive wealth. She was never this rich back then. After a few more intense rounds, Liu Pang is finally defeated. Does the watch actually go to Bai Ningbing? But why would she need a men's watch? Obviously, to give to another man. Liu Pang looks totally defeated and apologizes, but our guy tells him it is fine. She is not actually giving that to Fang Mingyuan, right? Liu Pang complains. Gifting her ex's heirloom to her new man? Honestly, that is trashy. Staring at the back of her head, our guy really wants to smack her. And then she turns. She probably wanted to see who dared to bid against her, but instead, locked onto our MC in the flashing lights. She instantly freezes in pure shock. This must have terrified her. She just bought her dead ex's watch, and now she is literally seeing his ghost. Walking out, our MC and Liu Pang can't not stop laughing. Liu Pang asks, "Bro, how did you and Bai Ningbing even get together?" Our guy admits he forced her. Liu Pang thinks he is joking, but he is serious. Our guy was no saint back then. When they first met, she was 19 and he was 26, before Fang Mingyuan's depression started. But their family relations were already terrible, so he lived alone, only visiting the Zhang family occasionally. One day, walking his dog, he ran into her. She was sitting on the curb looking devastated, and his first thought was, wow, she is gorgeous. She was exactly his type, but there was a bottle of pesticide right next to her. He recognized it from the news, the exact kind people use to end their lives. Just by looking at her messy clothes and exhausted state, he understood everything. She was like a helpless little kitten cornered in a dead end, with a face way too pretty to waste. Still having some pride left, she quickly hid a bottle of pesticide behind her back when she saw him staring. Maybe it was out of pure pity, or maybe his playboy instincts just kicked in. He walked over and tried to strike up a conversation, asking if she noticed his expensive champion dog. He bought this pedigree champion for $100,000, and Bai Ningbing had literally never heard of a dog being that expensive. She looked at him, then at the dog, feeling completely overwhelmed and defeated. Probably feeling like her life was literally worse than a dog's, she shut down, so he shot his second shot. He casually mentioned that he's pretty loaded, but he's just missing a girlfriend. Want to give it a shot? But Bai Ningbing turned him down. He didn't push it and just left his number. Then he confiscated her pesticide, telling her to think things through before calling him. Exactly a week later, Bai Ningbing finally called his number, showing up at his place covered in bruises. "Can you please help me?" she pleaded, standing helplessly in the pouring rain. He smirked and told her to call him Big Brother, making her fall dead silent. She finally bowed her head, whispering Big Brother, and only later did he find out her mother had just died. Her mother was awful to her, constantly throwing glass bottles at her whenever she got drunk, calling her a useless bastard girl as she grew older under all that abuse. But eventually, she realized her mother was right. She really was just an illegitimate daughter. Her mother tried to use her to marry into wealth, but the plan completely failed, leaving them with barely any child support, which only made her mother hate her even more. And the only inheritance her mother left behind after dying was $1 million in debt. Unable to pay it back, the loan sharks actually chased her all the way to school. Forced to drop out, she finally came looking for him that day. All those injuries were from thugs hired by the debt collectors. Like, seriously, these villains have no chill. This made him reflect on his own life, since his parents never showed him any love either. Seeing a reflection of his younger self in her, he decided to treat her incredibly well.
He paid off all her debts and pulled some strings so she could go back to school.
But as for Bai Ningbing, he could never truly figure her out.
She was always obedient, showing up whenever he called.
She worked incredibly hard, and on Valentine's Day,
She even used her hard-earned money to buy him a gift, holding him tight and pouring her heart out when she was tipsy.
But most of the time, she remained extremely quiet and seemed a bit too distant.
he assumed she was just naturally cold, until this new guy named Fang Mingyuan suddenly showed up. Fang Mingyuan was like a sudden ray of light in her dark life, and they instantly bonded over everything. They both loved the exact same anime and constantly threw around inside jokes that our main character couldn't even understand. Most importantly, they were the same age, and Bai Ningbing started smiling a lot more. She became much more talkative, but he noticed she was also tossing and turning at night. Constantly distracted, Bai Ningbing eventually came to him one day with a shocking request. Please don't tell Fang Mingyuan about our relationship. Talk about a dagger straight to the heart. Was being with him really that embarrassing? But she simply replied that their relationship wasn't exactly proper. Not proper? He froze, asking her what she thought they had been doing for the past year. She bit her lip and softly replied, "You are my sponsor." You work part-time just to buy gifts for a sponsor? And you write your names together. On a marriage tree at the temple while constantly getting drunk and crying about wanting to grow old with your sponsor? Alright, so she flat out tells him he is just a sugar daddy, and he just stays silent. Honestly, he wants to laugh. He literally treated her like an actual girlfriend. Spoiled her completely, gave her everything, but in the end, absolutely nothing. To her, they were just business. No wonder she was always so obedient, yet totally cold and distant. Losing his temper for the first time, he snaps, "Fine, I am your sugar daddy. So as my pet, you better learn to know your place. What right do you even have to make demands?" And then, boom. He purposefully gets intimate with Bai Ningbing right in front of the other guy, Fang Mingyuan. Bai Ningbing looks incredibly embarrassed, but she has absolutely no way to refuse him. But when Fang Mingyuan falls into depression, his parents beg the main character to just disappear. So he decides to leave, breaking things off with Bai Ningbing that day. When she asks why, he cold-heartedly says he is bored. Her eyes completely lose their light. And yet, she looks almost relieved. She walks away without ever looking back. By the very next day, news of his tragic car accident spreads like wildfire everywhere. Looking back, his fake death actually did her a massive favor. Turns out she already liked Fang Mingyuan back then. 5 whole years of devotion. Truly devoted. He just smiles in pure relief. Meanwhile, as he walks to the parking lot with Liu Peng, a voice suddenly calls out. With just a single syllable, he instantly knows it is Bai Ningbing. He is way too familiar with her voice, every single sweet and emotional tone of it. He has heard her beg, heard her whisper tenderly, so he keeps on walking. He quickens his pace, but Bai Ningbing is frantically running to catch up.
Suddenly blocking his path, she cries out his name with a trembling voice, Fang Yuan.
"I knew you were not dead," she screams, her voice echoing through the garage. His friend Liu Peng aggressively signals him to run. Instead of running away like his friend suggests, he calmly takes off his mask and hat. Bai Ningbing is absolutely ecstatic, crying out, "Brother, it really is you!" "Who are you looking for?" he asks coldly, leaving her completely frozen. "Stop joking. What did you just call me?" "Fang Yuan? I do not go by that name. You have the wrong person." He pulls out his actual identification to prove his name is Bai Zhang. As she frowns deeply in complete disbelief, he dumps out every single identification card he has on him. Every single card clearly lists his name as Bai Zhang. Surely she gets it now, right? Yet she still clings to him, desperately arguing that 2 identical people cannot possibly exist in this world. "You must be him," she cries out, pointing out she never actually saw his body back then. She knew he had to be alive, and heaven has finally rewarded her search. Annoyed by her stubbornness, he repeats that he is not her guy and to back off, lady. Threatening to call the cops is the only way he finally gets her to stop. As their car speeds away, she stands there lost. Even Liu Peng is completely shocked by his brilliant move of getting a new identity. But he warns him to be careful and never use his real name again. Our guy agrees, but honestly, Liu Peng does not get the real reason behind it. He did not change his name to hide from anyone. He just wanted to escape his family.
He wanted to be his own person, taking his biological mother's last name.
And that is how Bai Zhang was born, wishing for his life to start fresh.
Fang Yuan thinks everything is fine, assuming the auction was just a minor side quest. But plot twist, he runs straight into Bai Ningbing again the very next day. Dimly lit bar, packed crowd, everyone is basically a blur. Fang Yuan has absolutely no clue that Bai Ningbing is already sneaking up behind him. Honestly, his voice blends right into the loud noise. He whispers to him. He claims he's not the right guy. "Stop calling me brother," he snaps. "You really got the wrong person." But turning around, he sees Bai Ningbing with teary, emotional eyes. Stubborn as ever, Bai Ningbing suddenly grabs his neck. "You forgot to hide your birthmark, brother," he whispers. It's a tiny red crescent moon, but back during their childhood with Fang Mingyuan, that toxic brother always spread rumors that the birthmark was a sign of bad luck. He told everyone Fang Yuan was bad luck, though outsiders just laughed it off.
Sadly, their actual parents believed it, forcing him to hide the birthmark.
What's so shameful about a simple birthmark anyway? Only 19-year-old Bai Ningbing actually cared and showed him warmth back then. He would gently kiss that crescent moon, making our guy think he was loved. Fast forward to today, and 24-year-old Bai Ningbing's intense gaze is burning his skin. Our guy snaps, asking what's the big deal with a birthmark? He tells him plenty of people have the exact same look and mark. "How much longer are you running from me, brother?" Fang Yuan just laughs. He admits he just straight up does not want to talk to him. He ignores him completely, even flirting and swapping numbers with a passing girl. Bai Ningbing literally begs, saying, "Brother, please, just look at me once. I even grew taller for you, reaching your ideal height of 170. He hit the mark and swears he hasn't been with anyone else.
He insists he has zero connection to Fang Mingyuan, begging him to stop being mad.
But our guy keeps ignoring him. Right then, another girl walks up. She invites him over for the night, and he deliberately plays along. Bai Ningbing completely loses it, screaming, "Don't go with her, you're supposed to love me!" Out of nowhere, he grabs Fang Yuan's hand, presses it to his chest, and screams harassment. Dead silence. Literally everyone is staring. Fang Yuan is completely stunned, but this crazy kid actually smiles. Satisfied and smiling sweetly, he whispers that our guy isn't going anywhere. 20 minutes later, they both end up at the police station. The owner thought our guy was a creep, so now they're both being questioned. As the police register Fang Yuan's info, Bai Ningbing slowly walks over. He wants to catch him. At a police station, no true identity can be hidden. But our main character has no fear and smoothly hands over his ID. The officer scans it and notes he has been living abroad. Fang Yuan admits his parents passed away, making the officer feel low-key bad for him. The cop hands back his ID, confirming the security footage clears him. "You are free to go," he says, leaving Bai Ningbing completely shell-shocked. Bai Ningbing asks if he ever changed his name, but the system shows nothing. "How is that even possible?" he gasps, while our guy secretly laughs inside. Our guy drives off just like that, and honestly, making it big abroad is no joke. He worked himself to the bone to become a successful Chinese entrepreneur. No way he messes this up. His assistant, Liu Peng, is already waiting in the car, but right as he slams the door shut, Bai Ningbing suddenly throws his hand out to block it, catching the heavy door right on his arm. That had to hurt, but he acts like he feels absolutely nothing, softly calling him brother. He asks if the MC does not want that gold watch back, which actually makes our guy freeze. His grandmother's gold watch is his absolute weak spot, but he is done letting his weaknesses control him. He can easily steal his heart and walk away, so he just gives him a completely casual smile. The MC calmly congratulates him on successfully winning that expensive auction item. He even asks if paying such an insane price means the item is extra special to him. With our guy showing absolutely zero emotion, Bai Ningbing cannot even hide his deep disappointment. As he leans against the car door, his sleeve slides back to reveal a familiar bracelet.
It is the token of love the MC gave him years ago, back then because of this exact bracelet.
And this is where the backstory hits like a truck. He genuinely believed they were meant for each other. Back when they first started dating, the MC bought a beautiful bracelet. He wanted to surprise him, but Bai Ningbing was barely ever home back then. On Valentine's Day, Bai Ningbing did not even pick up his video call until late in the evening. The MC was pretty annoyed, asking where he had been all day without a single word. Bai Ningbing says he will be back soon, but the MC notices a cheap dining table behind him. There's even dirt on his face, which instantly makes our guy grow suspicious. The MC asks where he is, but Bai Ningbing's eyes dart away as he tells him to wait at home. He promises he will be fast, but before the MC can press him again, a woman wearing a fast food restaurant staff uniform walks right past behind him. Realizing he is working in a diner, our guy freezes, and Bai Ningbing finally texts him his location. By the time the MC rushes over, the shift is over, and Bai Ningbing is sitting alone outside.
Seeing the dirty work clothes in his bag, our guy asks if this is where he has been hiding.
He bluntly asks if the allowance he has been giving him is not enough. Bai Ningbing looks visibly hurt, quietly whispering that he just wanted to make his own money.
The MC tells him there is no need. He has classes to focus on while he handles things.
Besides, he does not need to work at a rundown diner like this, our guy says, glancing around. Bai Ningbing softly explains they pay daily, his voice cracking more and more with every word. In a tiny whisper, he asks if the MC looks down on him, but our guy does not catch it. Our guy asks what he said, but he claims it is nothing. He quickly pulls back into his usual cold shell, but before holding our guy's hand, he wipes his palms on his clothes first, trying to brush off invisible dirt. Back home, he says it is Valentine's Day, and he bought a gift with his hard-earned cash. What a coincidence, because the MC got him one too, so they agree to swap. Hiding their gifts behind their backs, they count to 3 to reveal them together. On 3, they pull their hands out, and the gift boxes are literally identical. Even the bracelets are identical, except his cost $500, while the MC's was $50,000. Honestly, our guy can barely remember what kind of look Bai Ningbing had on his face. He just remembers him looking incredibly flustered and completely embarrassed as he apologized. Bai Ningbing tells him he is sorry, stammering that he does not know anything about luxury brands. He did not realize his was a cheap knockoff. He just thought it looked really nice. He worked at that greasy fast food place for days just to buy our guy that bracelet. Fang Yuan was deeply touched, knowing Bai Ningbing bought this with his hard-earned money. He told him it looked real and asked to put it on. The next day, friends visited. While Bai Ningbing was prepping fruit in the kitchen, a sharp-eyed friend turned to Fang Yuan. Bro, how are you so broke now that you are wearing a cheap fake bracelet? Bai Ningbing completely froze up in the kitchen, but Fang Yuan just smiled and brushed it off. He wears whatever he likes, but the fake friend just scoffed at him for being embarrassed. That night, Fang Yuan took off the bracelet and left it right next to the sink. But by the time he stepped out, the bracelet had completely vanished. It was tossed in the trash, with Bai Ningbing coldly saying a fake is just a fake. He claimed it was not worthy of him, leaving Fang Yuan without a Valentine's gift. Bai Ningbing looked down with an unreadable expression, promising there would be one. His tone was dead serious as he promised to buy him a real one someday. Fang Yuan truly believed this was love, but then another wild incident went down. Bai Ningbing was tracked down by his toxic uncle who had abandoned his family years ago. But after hearing his nephew had a rich boyfriend, he wanted to leech off him. Bai Ningbing completely shut him down, making the greedy uncle lose his mind. He publicly humiliated Bai Ningbing in a packed restaurant, calling him a cheap gold digger. He insulted Bai Ningbing's mother, too, which completely crossed the line and broke him inside. Bai Ningbing slapped him right there, but the scumbag uncle did not come alone. His aunt and a gang of local women dragged Bai Ningbing into a dark alleyway. During the brutal struggle, someone ripped off the exact bracelet Fang Yuan had gifted him. Bai Ningbing crawled like a madman to save it, making his greedy aunt think it was valuable. She tried to snatch it away, but Bai Ningbing absolutely refused to let go. He curled up to shield the cheap bracelet, taking a brutal beating without ever giving in. Fang Yuan only saw this low-key, heartbreaking footage later when he finally tracked him down. Bai Ningbing was slumped alone in a deserted dark alleyway, his hair a total mess. His face was bloodied and bruised, looking completely battered. Yet he was gently using the only clean spot on his shirt to wipe the bracelet. He carefully slipped it back on just as Fang Yuan rushed over to hold him tight. Fang Yuan promised him that he was safe now and would protect him forever. Bai Ningbing sobbed in his arms for hours. Back then, Fang Yuan truly believed this was love. The flashback cuts off as Fang Yuan and his assistant Liu Peng arrive back at the hotel. Normally, right before they would call it a night, Liu Peng would go over the daily news reports, but tonight he suddenly stops.
The assistant starts shaking, stuttering that something absolutely wild has leaked online.
It is not just Fang Yuan in the photos. Bai Ningbing is all over the internet too. To be precise, the viral posts are completely focused on Bai Ningbing himself.
He basically came out of nowhere to become the ultra-rich heir of the massive Bai Group.
With his insanely striking good looks and that elegant, sharp, model-like build, he is constantly in the spotlight, and Fang Yuan always saw his news even overseas. But now the paparazzi caught Bai Ningbing throwing a fit at a bar, and Fang Yuan is right there. Instantly, the comments are flooded with netizens asking if this is Bai Ningbing's new boyfriend. Some assume he dumped his ex, but then others start digging up the truth. A genius netizen actually managed to find Fang Yuan's old high-quality photos. And they realize the handsome guy in the traditional robe is actually on another level of elite. Netizens are saying he looks exactly like Bai Ningbing's ex. Can anyone actually tell them apart? Bro, what? Her ex is literally her current boyfriend's older brother! This substitute trope is actually wild. Dating the younger brother just to cope? Now there is another clone. Devoted or just toxic? Honestly, make it make sense. But wait, Bai Ningbing and Fang Mingyuan never actually made it official. She always looks so cold. Fans who tried to ship them realized there is absolutely zero romance here. It was just media hype all along, so the fan jumped ship immediately. Too messy. Our MC stopped reading. He tossed his phone aside to sleep. Days later, he and Liu Peng were just wandering around. They passed the Bai Group's new mall, spotting a crowd gathering. Liu Peng gasped. It was Bai Ningbing. She was hosting the grand opening alongside Fang Mingyuan, though he was not standing right next to her. Several executives stood between them, but it looked like Fang Mingyuan had forced his way in. He was constantly shifting around, looking like he wanted to show off something. Looking closer, he was flexing his new gold watch. Liu Peng noticed that gold watch too, and immediately spat out a bunch of curses. But our MC stayed perfectly calm, expecting this all along. Let's just leave, our MC says. No use looking at garbage. But right when they turned to walk away, a reporter stepped up and asked a loud question. Is that the $10 million watch you bought at the auction now on young Master Fang's wrist? Does this mean marriage is close? Hearing this, Bai Ningbing immediately frowned. She turned on him, her eyes instantly burning with pure rage. Red with pure rage, she coldly demanded to know what he was wearing. Her sudden demand made the entire venue fall dead silent. Even our MC stopped. Fang Mingyuan muttered it was a watch, but she cut him off. Wearing a cheap knockoff to her grand opening? It was over. Everyone gasped. Fang Mingyuan panicked, claiming it was real. He kept trying to lie, but Bai Ningbing completely snapped. She ripped the fake off his wrist, slamming it down and shouting that he does not deserve his brother's watch. Not even a replica, she yelled. How many times have I warned you, Fang Mingyuan? No more games. His family had crossed the line. For years, they used his brother to blackmail her, forcing her to fund their family and tolerate his nonsense. But she is absolutely done telling him to get lost right now. The reporters were absolutely stunned. Honestly, nothing beats a live, high society meltdown like this. Then, one brave reporter took the lead, clicking their camera. The flash went off like daylight, and suddenly the rest of the media snapped out of it. Camera shutters went wild as Fang Mingyuan stood there completely humiliated. For a guy who cares so much about his ego, he did not dare say a word back to her. After all, he had practically ruined his own family, surviving solely on her charity. So instead, he took his rage out on the reporters, grabbing a pen and screaming at them. He screamed at them, asking if they would film their own mother's funeral. But of all things, the pen flew straight and stabbed right into a reporter's eyelid. A loud scream. He is completely done. He is in deep trouble. With his attitude, drama always follows him. But this time, his parents and Bai Ningbing cannot save him. This disaster immediately hit the front pages. Basically, the loudest shippers who obsessed over the couple just got hit with reality. It was all fake. Turns out Fang Mingyuan bought those hype articles. His whole family is trash. Using a fake savior identity is just insane. The gorgeous heiress only ever loved Fang Yuan, but they can never be together. It feels like they are separated forever. Bro, these tragic comments are literally hitting me like a truck. The Fang family is actually so evil, and I am seriously never going back. I will never eat at their chain restaurants again. But wait, is that poor reporter doing okay? Not really. From what I know, the reporter was rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery. They managed to save his eye, but his vision will never fully recover. The worst part? This poor reporter had actually just lost his mother. Fang Mingyuan's cruel words were so toxic that the reporter is absolutely determined to sue him. He is suing him for intentional assault, and Bai Ningbing is completely leaving Fang Mingyuan to rot. Our guy Liu Peng is basically a walking database, and according to his insider scoop, the trashy Fang parents still tried to save their son's reputation by begging Bai Ningbing for help. She kicked them straight out and immediately had all her malls ban their restaurants. She even brought in their direct competitors. Our main character knows she acted this fast. Since she finally found him, she has zero reason to take any more disrespect from that awful family. But get this. His trash foster father still had a cheap trick up his sleeve, posting a fake depression diagnosis. He posted a tearful sob story claiming his son is just a pure, innocent kid. He wrote that his son is incredibly sensitive and was diagnosed with depression a long time ago. He begged everyone to believe it was an accident and show some love to depression patients. He asked for a little tolerance, and of course this shameless PR move actually started turning the public opinion. Honestly, Fang Yuan did not care about that drama.
He used this chaos to visit his grandmother's grave.
Before this, the foster father kept a constant watch on the grave to catch him. But now that the old man is completely overwhelmed, he has no time to watch him. Fang Yuan spent hours by the grave, sharing everything about his life abroad. Then, a sudden visitor appeared. It was Bai Ningbing. Holding flowers, she froze and realized it was indeed her Fang Yuan. She was incredibly emotional. Turns out, she always visited his grandmother's grave too. Knowing how much he loved his grandmother, she made sure to visit her every single year. With tears in her eyes, she asked why he refused to recognize her before. He coldly shut her down. She asked if he was still mad, but he told her not to overthink it. He looked at her coldly, making it clear that his past self was long gone and he did not care anymore. She begged to explain, saying she only mistook Fang Mingyuan for him back then. She asked if he remembered 10 years ago, but before she could finish, another girl appeared. The new girl warmly told Fang Yuan that the assistant was busy, so she came to pick him up. Fang Yuan smiled and complimented her, saying the dress looked absolutely beautiful on her. Blushing, she said it was all thanks to him. Then she turned her gaze toward Bai Ningbing standing nearby. Acting like she just noticed her, she gasped in fake surprise. Bai Ningbing turned completely pale and demanded to know why her cousin Bai Lin was there. With an innocent smile, Bai Lin proudly replied that she was learning business management from him. Bai Lin complains from inside the car, urging his brother to stop wasting his breath on some random outsider. Let us go because I am super exhausted today, and thank you for your hard work, brother. He even promises to massage the legs of his brother tonight, throwing a highly provocative look right at Bai Ningbing. But Bai Ningbing completely blocks the car door to keep him out, demanding by what right he can do that. She is radiating this cold, terrifying, murderous aura. Honestly, she is built different. She looks ready to tear Bai Lin apart. But Bai Lin just smiles back, saying he is 19. Turns out, Bai Lin is actually the cousin of Bai Ningbing. Even though they are the same age, they have never met before. They're basically complete strangers. After the eldest daughter of Chairman Bai passed away, rumors spread like wildfire that Bai Lin would take over. But out of nowhere, the chairman found his long-lost illegitimate daughter, and Bai Lin completely faded from view. Because Bai Lin studied abroad, that is actually how he and Bai Zhang first met. But honestly, there is nothing romantic between them. They are just purely 100% platonic friends.
Bai Zhang just occasionally teaches him business management. Plus, the age gap is way too big anyway.
Now, Bai Lin is an absolute master at playing the green tea card, and his dramatic acting is OP as hell.
But do you think Bai Ningbing just gives up? No shot! She somehow manages to track down his number. She texts him, saying she wants to return the golden watch left by his grandmother. Naturally, he is not about to turn that down, so they set up a time. Bai Ningbing goes to his hotel, gently placing the golden watch right on the table in front of him. Bai Zhang instantly beams with joy. But wait, why is he only staring intensely at the watch? When he finally looks up, he catches her staring blankly, saying it has been so long since she saw him smile. She softly tells him that his smile is truly beautiful. She encourages him to smile more often and thanks him for taking the watch. As he pulls back his smile, Bai Ningbing suddenly pulls a small blue box out of her pocket.
She presents it as another gift, which contains the signature bracelet from the collection of her family.
She is keeping her old promise, but Bai Zhang quietly slides the bracelet right back over. He rejects her, causing disappointment to wash over her face as she insists she must tell him something in person. She asks if he remembers 10 years ago, but right then, another voice calling him brother instantly cuts her off. It is Bai Lin, walking right out of the hotel bathroom, fresh out of the shower. With wet hair, he only has a single towel wrapped around his waist. He asks about his shirt, and Bai Zhang replies that Liu Peng went to fetch it. Since it will take a second, Bai Lin decides to just wear one of the shirts of Bai Zhang first. He looks over at Bai Ningbing, flashing a sweet smile and greeting his cousin. He casually offers her some fruit, acting so familiar that it seems like he owns the entire place. First comes pure shock, followed immediately by absolute despair. The eyes of Bai Ningbing instantly lose all their light, looking just like a well that suddenly ran completely dry. She looks completely lifeless. After she finally leaves, the heavy act ends. Bai Lin immediately drops the act, asking Jiang what the two of them were just talking about. Bai Zhang replies it was nothing, just that his cousin mentioned they actually knew each other 10 years ago. He frowns, thinking it cannot be, and wondering what kind of game she is playing. But honestly, he is not even curious about what Bai Ningbing wanted to say. Liu Peng already booked his flight ticket. In just half a month, he will be leaving for good. But he never expected his so-called parents would actually have the audacity to hunt him down like this.
They used to fake their affection, but now the masks are completely off.
President Fang points a shaking finger at him in pure rage, demanding to know why he returned to the country. He accuses him of trying to ruin the life of his brother, while Bai Zhang just calmly sips his coffee. Bai Zhang states his name, but President Fang snaps back that he is nothing but a heartless beast. The adoptive father screams that Fang Yuan is just an ungrateful wretch, but he just smiles. Why didn't they call him ungrateful when they kicked him out or abandoned him at the amusement park? Or when he was burning up with a deadly fever, completely ignored by everyone?
Nobody bothered taking him to the hospital back then. Hearing this, the greedy President Fang gets furious. His face is literally shaking with rage as he yells that Fang Yuan did this on purpose.
He calls him a heartless beast for deliberately trying to harm his depressed younger brother. But Fang Yuan speaks slow and steady, asking if Fang Mingyuan actually has depression. Are you absolutely sure about that? President Fang suddenly panics. However, this old businessman is pretty crafty and instantly masks his fear. He gets loud and angry again, claiming he knows his own son's health best. Only a cruel person with no conscience would ever question a mental illness. Blaming him for the illness, the dad rages while Fang Yuan slowly pulls out a document. Covering the upper half, he asks if this is the exact report they're talking about. The dad says yes, but Fang Yuan reveals this is actually his own report from 4 years ago. Sliding his fingers away, he reveals the actual patient name. President Fang completely freezes. Fang Yuan points out that his precious son did get tested, though. He pulls out a second paper, showing that Fang Mingyuan's results are perfectly normal. He is incredibly healthy. Honestly, seeing the father's smug face completely collapse is absolute gold. The old man probably knew the truth all along since he's a veteran businessman.
He is definitely not stupid, but he actively chose to play dumb and believe the lie.
But now, the act is over. All his aggressive energy vanishes as he stammers that maybe the doctors just missed the diagnosis. Fang Yuan calmly asks if he is calling the top-tier hospital completely incompetent.
The dad desperately argues that if his precious son says he is sick, he must feel unwell.
It is just a little drama, so as the older brother, Fang Yuan should just yield to him.
Fang Yuan just stays dead silent.
After a long pause, he lets out a quiet laugh and asks why they even adopted him. He admits they followed an old superstition about couples who cannot conceive. The belief says that if you adopt an unwanted child, you will easily get pregnant with your own. Hearing this, Fang Yuan finally realizes they never actually wanted him as a son. He was just a tool to trigger the brother's birth. His entire youth was a complete joke. Feeling totally drained that night, he heads to a bar to drown his sorrows.
Stumbling out completely drunk, he notices a familiar figure sitting quietly by the road.
It is a woman with very pale skin, her sharp office wear highlighting her stunning curves. Seeing him approach, Bai Ningbing stands up and calls out to her brother as he trips. She quickly supports him, asking why he drank so much, so he suggests going to his place. Bai Ningbing is totally caught off guard, but he laughs and tells her not to worry. He says she never finished her story before, and tonight, he actually wants to listen. Tonight, he wants to hear her story with Fang Mingyuan from 10 years ago as they walk.
She softly corrects him, saying the story is actually about the two of them 10 years ago.
Fang Yuan recognizes the apartment they arrive at. It is his old rental from back then.
Now here is a massive plot twist. She actually bought this place after he died.
Every piece of furniture and decoration is arranged exactly the way he left it. She even regularly buys the exact same color of roses to keep in his favorite vase. He arranges 3 roses. He's so obsessed that even the angle of the flower heads must perfectly match how the MC did it years ago. Then, Bai Ningbing brings out an old box. Inside are some incredibly old letters. They're totally yellowed, but the handwriting is still clear. The MC freezes as Ningbing gently smooths out the paper and asks if he wrote them. He asks if the MC is Zhe Yui, which was his old pen name. He only used it briefly, but 10 years ago, by some crazy twist of fate,
He became pen pals with a middle school kid who poured his heart out in those letters.
the MC was dealing with major family neglect back then, so he related completely. It was purely wholesome. They were just supportive pen pals. The MC tried his best to guide him and encourage his studies.
But he hid his real name and age, fearing a generation gap would stop him from sharing.
So when the kid asked his age, the MC lied and said they were peers. Eventually, the letters stopped, but later the MC's toxic brother, Fang Mingyuan, found the pen name. He thought it sounded cool and decided to steal it.
He changed all his social media handles to ZU and banned the MC from using it.
The MC completely forgot about it, and honestly, without these letters, he never would have remembered. Ningbing looks up and says, "Brother, Fang Mingyuan's online name was Zeyue."
Since they were the same age, Ningbing naturally assumed he was the pen pal.
He even asked Mingyuan directly, and that shameless brother took credit. This completely shocks the MC.
But honestly, that is exactly the kind of shady stuff Mingyuan would do.
The moment Ningbing asked, Mingyuan immediately planned to hijack his brother's identity. After all, Ningbing is extremely gorgeous and comes from a wealthy, powerful family. That is the only reason Mingyuan clung to him for so long. But still, no shot. The MC confronts him, asking why Ningbing once called him just a financial sponsor.
Ningbing whispers everyone said so, and the MC demands to know who.
Ningbing lowers his gaze, his long, dark eyelashes casting a soft shadow. He sadly lists them off: classmates, the family driver, basically everyone around them. The MC freezes. He used to hang around some fake wealthy friends back then. They only hung out for family business interests, so they were never true friends. When the MC introduced Ningbing to them, they acted polite to his face. But behind his back, they brutally mocked Ningbing, calling him nothing but a pet. This is actually so sad. Even the housemaids and drivers whispered the same rumors. Even though Ningbing worked hard and studied seriously to prove himself, To those toxic elites, he was still just an unpresentable, low-class plaything. The nasty rumors even reached his school, leaving him completely isolated in his dorm. Yet, despite all that pain, he never even thought about breaking up. Ningbing speaks about this so calmly now, showing absolutely zero resentment or anger.
He has grown past the pain, but admits that back then, he couldn't even fight back. He felt utterly powerless, because on paper, those cruel people seemed to be right. He smiles bitterly, isolated as a kid because of his mother, and now this. Facing relentless bullying just for loving someone, that has literally been his entire life.
The MC quietly asks if Ningbing hates him for bringing so much misery into his life. But Ningbing looks at him with this incredibly soft gaze and shakes his head.
He says he almost dropped out, but those letters were the only reason he kept going. She admits that back when she was 19 and about to end it all, he was the one who saved her. He gave her a reason to live, stepping in twice to pull her out of the dark.
Guiding her to the right path is the only reason she has today. Whether he is Fang Yuan or Bai Zhang, she is incredibly grateful. She loves him too, leaving him to just blink in shock.
Honestly, their relationship is so complicated, mixing cold, hard cash with actual deep feelings.
When money is involved, their love always gets completely ignored. Looking back, when he first struck up a conversation with Bai Ningbing, it was pretty simple.
He really just wanted to adopt a little kitten, but she quickly became so much more than a pet. She was his comfort during his darkest, loneliest days, and his warmth on the coldest nights.
Bai Ningbing checked every single box for him, even if she always acted super cold and aloof. But the truth is, whenever he actually needed her, she never missed a single beat. Even though Bai Ningbing desperately wanted to break free from her past, the gap was just too massive. Reality kept dragging her back down to the dirt, even after she climbed her way up to become the powerful boss Bai. No matter how wealthy and noble she became, she could never forget where she came from. She always remembered being pulled right out of the mud, and now she buries her face in his lap. In the quiet room, she starts crying softly, letting her emotions out. It is not a sad cry either. It is more like a quiet moment of pure relief and closure.
She whispers that being with him was her greatest blessing. But wait, he still refuses to get back together.
Honestly, it is not out of spite or trying to make her regret, because at his age, his mindset has completely changed.
Romance is nice, but it is really not his top priority right now.
Honestly, his overseas business is way more interesting to him than getting tangled up in romance again.
But wait, the messy Fang family drama is far from over. Fang Mingyuan actually forged a clinical depression diagnosis.
Someone leaked that fake report to the public, and of course the Fang family blames our main character.
But it was not him, though he definitely thought about it.
Out of respect for the people who raised him, he decided to show mercy and let it go. Well, what goes around comes around, and now Fang Mingyuan's messy reputation is absolutely ruined for good. All the gullible people who defended him before are now turning on him, dragging him the hardest online. At the same time, the truth about our main character gets exposed. Fang Yuan is actually alive. Insiders leak that the family faked his death just to clear the path for Fang Mingyuan's rise.
No shot! They literally made up his death, and now the entire internet is absolutely destroying the family.
The head of the family tries calling in every PR team, but they are stuck in a total dead end. No firm wants to ruin their brand for them, and netizens are actively boycotting all their restaurants. Out of pure desperation, President Fang sends thugs to jump him, catching our main character completely off guard. That very night, a brutal gang corners our main character in a dark, pitch-black alleyway. They knock his buddy Liu Peng unconscious and force-feed our main character some crazy sleeping drug. Drugged up and dizzy, he has zero strength to even fight back. The thugs start beating him ruthlessly while some guy records it, literally shouting to kill him. This is the sick revenge of the Fang family. They literally want him dead. His head feels incredibly heavy, and just as he is about to pass out, this happens. One of the thugs is violently thrown to the ground, and oh my god, it is Bai Ningbing! She showed up with her crew, and he literally watches her grab a heavy steel bar. After that, he blacked out completely, and by the time he finally opens his eyes, Fang Yuan wakes up in a strange room, finding Bai Ningbing sitting right beside him.
He immediately asks where they are and if his friend Liu Peng is okay.
She tells him Liu Peng is resting in the next room of a nearby hotel.
She brought them both there first, and that is when he notices she is covered in blood.
Her white shirt is completely stained red, making him ask if she is hurt. He urges her to go to the hospital, but she insists she is fine.
She calmly reassures him, saying all that blood actually belongs to them.
She is way too calm, giving him a terrible feeling as he asks what she did.
She tells him one of them is dead, and he completely freezes in shock. Bai Ningbing gently pats him on the shoulder, trying to keep him calm and relaxed. She says she simply went too far and will take full responsibility for what happened. Someone is literally dead now, and panic starts to take over. But he forces himself to stay calm, cupping her face and telling her they need a lawyer. He promises to find the absolute best lawyer and testify that she did it to save him. They need to start preparing for her defense right now, this very second. But she just squeezes his hand with teary eyes, whispering that none of this is real. It is all fake. At this point, heavy tears start rolling down her face. She weeps uncontrollably, telling him that even though the dream was beautiful, it is over. She has to wake up, and boom, reality hits. Prisoner number 7, Bai Ningbing. The guard Zhao Li calls her name, and Bai Ningbing looks over with hollow, empty eyes. Her voice is completely drained, and the guard is actually surprised she is lucid today. Since it is so rare, a nearby rookie guard asks what her backstory is. The veteran explains that despite her looks, her mind was broken when she arrived. Due to her meds, she constantly hallucinates and keeps calling out for her brother. But that brother is actually her late boyfriend, which is just low-key heartbreaking. This girl actually ran over and killed the wealthy young master Fang Mingyuan 4 years ago. Back then, that high-profile case caused massive shockwaves and dominated the news. The old guard clicks his tongue, amazed that the rookie has never heard of it. He explains that the famous owner of the Fang Group actually had 2 sons. The older son, Fang Yuan, was adopted, while the second son, Fang Mingyuan, was biological. 4 years ago, the biological son claimed to have depression and could not tolerate his older brother. Can you believe what the family did? They completely spoiled the younger son and kicked Fang Yuan out. They even staged a fake car crash to fake his death, just to make their biological son happy. Ugh, that is insane. What a completely toxic and bizarre family. The rookie guard totally agrees with him. But the younger brother, Fang Mingyuan, found out about the fake crash plan. The rookie is dying of suspense, asking what happened next. Well, Fang Mingyuan secretly replaced the driver without telling a single soul. He got behind the wheel himself and actually ran over and killed Fang Yuan. The rookie gasps in absolute horror, feeling a deep sense of pity.
To make it worse, the family used their connections to cover up his crime,
letting him walk away completely scot-free, which is so messed up. But what about prisoner 7?
She was Fang Yuan's girlfriend, though some rumors say he was just taking care of her.
After finding out the truth about his death, she found no help from the law. So she took revenge by running over Fang Mingyuan the exact same way.
Like a tragic fading sunset, she turns herself in after a fatal hit and run.
Once they run her background, she is actually the secret daughter of the massive Bai Group. Honestly, this girl has insane loyalty because she easily could have used her family's wealth to get off. But she refuses to play dirty, dragging her master down too. His business completely collapses and goes bankrupt. Within a few years, both of them pass away, leaving the prison guards feeling incredibly bad for her. They mention that prisoner number 7 is probably seeing Fang Yuan in her hallucinations again.
Apparently, the Bai Group pays a top-tier therapist to visit her every single month.
The doctor says she uses these hallucinations to cope with her guilt. But what misunderstanding? The guards have no idea. Time just drags on, and another ordinary day passes. What could that misunderstanding even be? Maybe a handwritten letter from back when they were young? Or the guilt of mistaking someone's identity and the cowardice of being too afraid to claim their relationship? Maybe the bracelet she never gave, or just being crushed by reality. And those unspoken words of love? But plot twist, 10 years later, Fang Yuan finally returns home. Stepping onto the land that broke her heart, she feels surprisingly at peace.
Right after her 37th birthday, she gets a random call from a strange number back home.
The voice asks if she can pick someone up. And then they drop a name she has not heard in ages. Hearing those two words still makes her freeze instantly, but she travels to visit the women's prison. Awaiting her there are not just the guards, but Bai Ningbing's personal therapist. They hand over all of Bai Ningbing's mental health reports, specifically a detailed record of every single hallucination. In her mind, she desperately wished Fang Yuan was still alive and successful. She wanted a chance to explain. She wanted to finally confess her true feelings, and in those delusions, she did just that. Fang Yuan would gently caress her face. Closing the massive file, she sits there. She touches her face in silence. Plot twist, she survived, but she looks completely different now. Years ago, Fang Mingyuan almost ran her over, but she barely managed to survive. She fled abroad for medical treatment and cut off all contact with everyone back home. The crash completely disfigured her face, forcing doctors to perform major reconstructive surgery. She even changed her name, making sure absolutely nobody would know she was Fang Yuan. She built a brand new life overseas, finding real peace and fulfillment. She never married because she did not need to. Her true love was her career. She became a wildly successful entrepreneur, and now Bai Ningbing's prison sentence is finally over. The doctor says her mental health is stable and her prison behavior was outstanding.
The doctor explains they tried contacting her family, but she's essentially an orphan now.
So they called Fang Yuan, the only relative left. The doctor notes that her delusions constantly recreated the same 19-year-old girl to punish herself. A way to constantly blame herself. Fang Yuan stares at the report in silence. Finally, she nods and simply says that she will take her home. The doctor is thrilled, but for Fang Yuan, the past is long gone. She has already moved on, and at nearly 40, there is no room for grudges. Plus, her business is expanding, and Bai Ningbing's ties to the Bai Group could be very useful. Our guy just laughs at himself, realizing how age has made him view everything through a lens of pure self-interest. It's a terrible way to think, but he signs anyway. He heads to his grandmother's grave first, promising the prison guard he will return by afternoon. Of course he's late, but the spring around him is incredibly vibrant. Sweet flower scents wash over him like a tide, soaking his very soul. And right there outside the prison gates, Bai Ningbing is just sitting on the curb. Petals drift onto her shoulders. She's clearly no longer that naive young girl. But she still feels like her. Honestly, this reunion hits so different. He just stands there, staring. Finally, he reaches out his hand. Your big brother is here, just like back then.